Go. I'm Jonathan Sharp, and I am joined with the one and the only Karl McLain. And we're going to be starting something new with you guys. We wanted to try PvP first, and we'll be doing some other areas of the game later as we move throughout this process. But what we wanted to do was just have a sit down with you guys and start to introduce you to more of the devs and more aspects of the game and start to teach you guys different aspects of the game. So we thought we'd start it off with how to get into the basics of how to make a team build for competitive 5-on-5 in Guild Wars. So we'll be keeping it really high level. This, what we're going to actually be doing as well is showing you guys how the streaming works and how our custom arenas work. So what we have right now is we have devs in one of our custom arenas. It's password protected. We're on live with you guys right now. We're going to be walking through the different aspects of the game and what the basic elements are that you need to have in a team. So this is going to be really fun for us. We're trying something new. We're going to use custom arenas. It's like a new toy. It's like Christmas. Get to bust it out and do some cute stuff with it. So we're going to jump right in. And Karl's driving for us. So we've got a lot of devs in here. You're probably going to recognize a lot of these names for some of these guys. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first thing we want to talk about was the opening split. As soon as the map starts, you need to make sure that you have a strong opening split in mind. And what this means is basically out of the 3 points, do you want to contest all 3? Do you want to go with like a 2-3-0 split? Maybe leave one of the points completely uncontested? Do you want to go for a 1-3-1? Do you want to go for a 1-1-1 and send 2 people to stop their secondary objective? On this example, it's we're on the Battle of Kylo, so the trebuchet might be something that you want to get down immediately so you don't have to deal with it. What's up?
Yeah, so we're actually looking at the server right now, and it looks like we're missing a couple people.
Okay, well we just got to go with what we got.
We could move to a different server. The one we have, the other one we have set up.
No, I think we should just keep going with what we got. I think we can do it. It's going to be okay. All right, so the first thing we wanted to do is we wanted to look at one of the first fights we have set up for you guys, which is going to be one person attacking a point and one person defending a point. So in this situation, you can see we've got, looks like an engineer. He's going to be trying to hold this point, and he has somebody coming in to attack him. So you can see that we're just kind of setting up some mock battles. Again, these are just things we wanted to kind of slow down the game so you guys could understand what we're talking about and why we're talking about it. So who's attacking him at this point? This looks like
this will be the Blitz Attack.
Okay, so it looks like we've got Blitz. He's one of our guys. He's one of our QA guys. This is Roy. He's going to be coming in. Looks like he's attacking Tyler, who's trying to defend the point, which is Windmill. So one of the things that's important right here is that the defender here needs to keep him out of this, because you can see that judging by the icons on the screen, this is being contested now. So if he's not careful, the red team is going to lose control of this point. So it's extremely important for him to defend this point.
This is red team's near point.
Yep.
And so we, in this scenario, we've actually said that Hammond is going to be the near point defender, and he's going to be the only one there pretty much the entire time and he's not going to get very much support. So his build is actually going to be set so that he wants to be in a one-on-one survivalist type of fight.
And his job basically is to just hold this point. He's probably going to, because it's their near point, which is a nomenclature a lot of the top teams will use, this is near point defense. So he's probably just going to hold this, and he's going to call back somebody on the team to come and help him if he needs it. But right now his job is just to hold this point, not let it get taken. He needs to be able to tank as well as he can to keep this guy off, while also keeping some control between here and the middle point. So that's kind of what he's looking at doing, is defending that point. Okay. And on the flip side of this, we wanted to show you guys another fight where
this one.
Go ahead.
So when Hammond, if he ever gets into a point where his point is contested, they'll call back an ally.
Yep.
They'll say, hey, get over here. We need to kill this guy. We need to get our point back. So Power is here. He's going to be the actual.
Yeah.
He'll turn it into a 2-on-1.
And it looks like, from what I can tell, this is Power. This is another one of our QA guys. Looks like he's on a 100 Blades Warrior. So he's probably coming back, maybe Signet of Might, that kind of stuff, to blast through any kind of blocks. He's going to be able to eat through that defense and help to get it down. So you can see the attacker is down.
It was he wanted to go for a quick kill, and then he's going to move out and back into whatever positions he wanted to be in.
Yeah, so they've defended the point. He's calling them back. So the defensive player here held the position just correctly, and now you can see Power's gone back out into the field to help the rest of the team. So, okay. Let's look around to see what else we've got going on. So it looks like this is that John?
That is John.
The one and only John Peters. You can see he's not running his patented 5 Signet build.
No 5 Signet.
I'm sorry, guys, but he does have Signet Might. You can see that his elite is the Signet. Looks like we've got John Corpening's defending the blue trebuchet right now. He's one of our programmers. He's defending that. So let's go see. Let's go watch Peters maybe. Let's have Peters attacking a point. Yeah, it looks like Peter's roaming around.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you want to do if you're one of the attackers on the team is right now warriors are they've kind of fallen out of favor, but people are starting to play them again with some of the changes that we had. So you can see that John is now pressuring Corpening. He's going to try to pressure him off of his trebuchet if he can. So he's got two goals at this point. He either needs to kill John and push him entirely off the trebuchet, or he needs to just take down the trebuchet itself. So those are the two things he's probably thinking about right now. And that's one of those things that as you guys play more and more and you talk to your buddies and you guys form your builds, maybe it's important for him to just jump in and kill the treb. Maybe it's more important for him to try to actually take out Corpening, who's the defender right here. This Logo Pie's real name is John Corpening, so using some shorthand for you guys. You can see a rock dog has just come out. This is a proc off of somebody's weapons.
Now John's task was here was to go kill the treb. That was his thing. Make it so Logo Pie's offense was shut down.
Yep. But as you can see, that Logo Pie successfully defended. It was close, but he did get the treb. Yep. But so now at this point, Logo Pie would probably need to just go and run another treb kit because he did get the treb down. So John did his job. They're talking in chat. They're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
So we're back over to Windmill. Looks like. Let's go check out who is this. So we've got some fights in middle. How's Mansion looking right now?
Mansion is looking pretty clear, honestly.
Pretty clear. Okay. So one of the things we also want to talk to you guys about is make sure that as you're coming up with a team composition, think of all the different things that you're going to have to deal with. Now, what do you have to deal with? You have to deal with extremely strong defensive specs that have a lot of evasion. They maybe have a lot of blocking, so maybe you need to bring a lot of immobilization to shut that stuff down. Maybe they're going to rely on defensive boons a lot, and if that's the case, you're going to need to bring some ways to either corrupt boons or strip boons from a Mesmer. Maybe you've got a Necro in there. Maybe you're going to bring some of the new warrior stuff to try to just eat through those boons. You're just going to try to just go brute force through them. Think about how you're going to deal with those teams that bring a lot of defensive stuff like that. One of the other things you want to be thinking about too is how is your team going to function in solo fights like off of points, and how's it going to function as a team? Because you've got to have team fights as well as those solos, the one-on-ones, the one-on-twos, the two-on-twos, the two-on-ones, all that kind of stuff. So you have to keep a balance between what you want to do with each one of those. Looks like Karl's watching.
We're gonna have a center fight, I think.
A center fight. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit. Yeah.
John's normal role is like to be attacking the center and also to be attacking the treb whenever it comes up again.
Sure.
So he can survive pretty well in most scenarios.
And as we're going through these things, guys, Ruby and Regina are going to take some questions for us. So any questions that you guys have as we're talking about this stuff, feel free to throw them into the chat right now on Twitch, and just let us know what you guys have questions about. And at the end, they'll send me some questions. We'll answer those for you guys. So be thinking about that as we're going through this. Looks like, okay, so the center fight. Oh, wow. So looks like we've got a 1-on-2 now. So the earlier build that we saw, we had a 1-on-1, which became a 2-on-1, and now we have a 2-on-2 at the windmill fight. So you'll notice that the pace of the fight picks up because there's just more bodies, there's more effects.
Block score went down.
Block score is already down. Block score, what's going on? Oh, and he's down. The poor little Char that could have done it, but he just didn't get it done this time. So it looks like you can see, too, with the spectator mode, what you're able to do, which is really cool, is that you can kind of just pull back from a fight, and you can just see different camera angles to kind of see the progression of the fight from one point to the next.
Here they're pushing the longbow warrior out.
Yeah, they're pushing him back. And so from this position, for instance, the red team could really push into middle and have a really strong presence in middle. Yeah, and these guys are still going down. He's just running.
They're just running around. He's going down.
Yeah, he's not going to get out of that. There's no way. So that's some of the basic stuff we wanted to go over with you guys. It's just the way that you need to deal with those types of things. And also be thinking about how the composition for your team is going to change based off the map. So this is one of our oldest competitive maps. This is the Battle of Karl. You guys have seen this from our exhibition matches last summer. You've seen this a lot. You've seen the Treb come into action. You've seen it dominate matches. You've seen control of the Treb really dominate this match. So what you need to be thinking about is for every match that you're playing on, what is the map like? How does that change the composition of your team? In this instance, you need to have somebody who can either get down a trebuchet very quickly or somebody who can defend your own trebuchet. A lot of people too now are starting to use engineers. They'll use grenade kits so they can actually assault somebody's trebuchet from a great distance, which is something that you might need to figure out how you're going to deal with that engineer once you do see him going after your treb. So watch for that. And that's going to change with each of the maps. It's going to be different on what you actually need. And that's one of those things where you need to get with your team and figure out, do we want to have a lot of really strong independent builds that just kind of come together every now and then? Do we want to build a team that's really strong at maybe a 3-man fight and we've got 2 people who can go off and do their own thing? You need to be thinking about those types of things as you're making your builds.
Like here, Hammond has still got he's very survivalist. he's gonna leave living regardless of what's on him. You know, he's got 2 people they've been chasing him this entire time, and he's gonna heal back up immensely. He's gonna drop his turrets and continue to hold the point.
Yep. And because of that, you can see that the guys chasing him, if they would have had some conditional slow, maybe a chill or an immobilize, a cripple, that really would have helped right there, because it could have got him down. He would have been forced to use his healing turret earlier, below the condition removal on that. That would have really slowed him down a little bit.
Then you got Logo Pie. He was launching Treb
Pie's just launching those Treb shots. You can see the blue team's really pulling out an edge here. The control of that Treb is really doing a lot for them. But you can see too that this middle fight, it's really difficult to have a fight here if you are not suppressing the opponent's trebuchet, because you are just going to take so much AoE damage from that Treb. It's really going to be detrimental to you to not deal with that Treb. So you've got to be thinking about who on your team can go and get that guy off of the Treb if you really need to control the middle, because otherwise you are not going to get control if they have control of the Treb. They will just be able to beat you back every single time. They got a really big team fight going on here. So as soon as Ruby and Regina, as soon as you guys get some questions going, just feel free to toss them over to us and we'll start talking about them.
So, yeah, the match is actually about to end. Looks like blue team has won.
Blue is going to, so the map's going to restart. Cool. Oh, so this is a great question. Okay. The question is basically, do you plan on having a small number of top-tier matches available on replay for people to see things from multiple angles, slow it down, break down what's happening? It's a great question. Yes, this is exactly why I know a lot of people were like, they wanted to see other things in competitive PvP, but we fought really hard and we stayed to the course of, we think that custom arenas plus spectator mode together is going to be what we need to do for the game right now to help you guys get some stuff. So with those 2 tools, you're able to do a lot of those things. And what we're doing is we're watching for feedback on the forums for custom arenas to see what kind of other features people want to add. So we've been watching what kind of aspects of the game do they turn off, what kind of aspects do they want to have turned on in different ways. So we're watching for the different types of options. And then in spectator mode, we're also looking at how are we going to be able to take what we have and then show that out to the player base. Our intention, as we've said before, is we want to get a lot of really good shoutcasters. So we're kind of like listening to the shoutcasting that's going on right now. We're listening to those guys, and we want to get those guys and start having exhibition maps where we do exactly that, where we take a really strong approach with the spectator of showing you guys really high tier play, recording it, having people shoutcast it, break it down, have stats going in, stats coming out, and then save that for posterity, if you will. So that's why we've really been pushing shoutcasting as opposed to just having a replay mode or something like that, because you don't have the shoutcaster who's giving you that input, who's teaching you the game, who's making it really exciting and calling out the amazing plays. So that's definitely something that we're looking to do, which is why with these new tools, we're looking at the shoutcasters right now and starting to figure out who in the community is getting the most support and who can do the most for the game and who you guys want to see calling your high-level matches. So that's what we're watching for right now.
That was an interesting opening right there. They use the Shadow Refuge and they're assaulting the offensive, or they're offensively assaulting the enemy's point.
Yep. This is a hard push to far. Yeah, this is a 3-on-1 at far point, which means this guy's going to go down. He was just not ready to deal with. He can maybe hold a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-2, but a 3-on-1 that fast with a roamer who's set to deal with bunkers.
Power went and opened up a can right there, and now he's going to be off to the midpoint.
Yep. So again, that's really strong control of the far point, which then puts the blue team in this case on the defensive, because now they have to defend their home point as well as middle right away. So this is going to be rough for them. Again, this is where on this map, control of the trebuchet is going to become very important.
I don't think anybody's actually taking control of trebuchets. They've opted out of that one.
Oh wow! So they're just pushing hard for middle, it looks like.
And with Blitz being the only one there to defend, I don't know if they're going to be able to.
And we've seen teams, we've watched guys who, they go 2 different ways. One team might say, we really think the trebuchet is important, we're going to dedicate a character to it who can defend it, who can keep it up. Other teams say, you know what, we're just going to make 2 really strong offensive roamers who are just going to kill your trebuchet every time it comes up. We're not even going to put anybody on our treb. So we're basically going to take the trebuchets out of the game and hope that you've wasted a character on trying to defend your trebuchet, but we're going to kill that character every time. Then that character is not as good without the treb, so we're going to win overall. We're getting more questions.
It looks like Blitz was able to hold it off, actually.
Wow, he got some help. That looks like
he got some help, but like it was a 2v2 or 2v1, and he was able to hold it off for that period of time. Hammond is still just trucking along. There.
They've got to break that. All right, we've got some more questions.
Right now, it's hard to break him.
Will you get the option to move around freely as spectator? We actually thought about this at first, and then we've gone to the 2 different systems. So let me explain the system first before I answer that question. The way the system works right now is, as you can see, you can watch an individual character's point of view, or if Karl can pull up, he can actually show you that you can also just click on different cameras on the map if you want to, so that those are the 2 options that we have right now. So the question is, can I just freely move around? Right now you cannot, but that's one of the things that we're watching for feedback and how many people want that feedback. What we like right now is that if you have the free camera, that's really cool, but right now with, perhaps it's from us watching a lot of, StarCraft, League of Legends, watching the Dota 2s, watching Smite, just that idea of being able to instantly jump to somewhere just with an instant click is really, really powerful. So while you can do that, as you can imagine, in an RTS game that has a different camera, for a third-person game, that would just mean that you were basically driving it with a WASD, if you can imagine, which we're not sure is as easy for people to use yet, but it's one of those options we've talked about using.
I'm really liking following people around because I can see what skills they're using, like which ones are on cooldown.
Sure, sure.
You can even see what traits they have equipped and a gear.
Yep.
So I can see that Blitz here has a very defensive build.
Yep.
Some cool virtues in there. Yeah, he's running a very solid,
pretty
defensive
solid
build.
We've got another question here. What are your thoughts on adding voice communication to sPvP? We do want to add voice, but what we've actually seen is that a lot of people, for some reason, will play with music on or they won't play with their headphones on while we watch people play at different events, which is interesting. So what we're trying to do is we do want to have voice, but we're also thinking of adding a system that's going to be entirely in-game voice command, but without the voice. So what that means is basically you can, with a lot of the new systems that we're going to be having, tell people on your team what you're doing without using your voice at all. So we're going to have a lot of quick commands that you can say, I'm defending this point, I'm attacking that point, I need you to be over here, hey, I need you to retreat, that type of stuff. So we're looking at doing something like that. Yeah, John just got, power just ran through, and he was almost down too, but it looks like he got that hit off. Nice, nice.
Oh, Block Score was, he was vegeanced.
Was he? Wow, so Blue's still pulling
wait.
ahead on this one, looks like.
I'm not sure how that one actually unfolded, but whatever.
We've got another question here. Do you plan on adding new game modes in the future? Deathmatch, capture the flag, great question. One of the reasons, again, why we wanted custom arenas and spectator mode to be out is so that we could watch what you guys started to build. As you can imagine, we've seen a lot of people doing 1-on-1, 2-on-2, and 3-on-3 sets. They'll turn off all the cap points. They'll say, ignore the cap points. We want to see what Deathmatch is going to look like for you guys when you're playing that stuff. We've already started developing some other game types that we're going to be trying, and we're going to be probably rolling some of those out later. But internally, we're testing a lot of things and seeing what works with the game. Now that we feel like Conquest is really solid, we've got multiple maps that we feel like can work for tournaments. We want to be careful not to split up the player base too much, though. So we're trying to be careful on when we bring those game types out and what they're going to do for the game. So we're just being really careful with those. But internally, we are developing some other game types, just like we've been developing them from a long time. But cap points is where it's at for right now, just to make sure that we have everybody on the same page. But we're trying some other things within Conquest. Yeah, you've got two guys down there. We're trying some things, though, like as you'll see, like in the Spirit Watch, we are trying a form of capture there because you basically have the orb that's very important. We have a lot of the buff stuff that you would have from Temple. Temple, the Silent Storm is one of our maps. That's one of those places where I'm getting kind of distracted watching the action. I want to shoutcast the action while still talking.
I want to talk about it, but
but yeah, that's one of those things where we do want to try some of the game types. We'll be trying some things, but we also want to try to push cap points as far as we can before we move on to something else. And that's just one of those things. We'll be watching the players to see what kind of stuff they do with the game types and see what they do with their custom arenas, what kind of settings they like the most, and that'll kind of give us some indication on which of those game types we roll out next. So there's any more questions, or is that pretty much it? Okay, looks like that's all the questions. That's pretty much it, guys. We wanted to just give you some overviews on kind of some of the things you can expect.
We have about a couple hundred points left. Do you want to shoutcast it?
Go for it, dude.
We wait for more questions?
Just go for it. Just start shoutcasting. Looks like we've got Necro trying to hold on this point. So he's trying to push into
Tarsus.
Tarsus. He's going to go down with a
going against a couple. He got Mesmer and a warrior that they're going against.
And this is one of those situations where the warrior and the Mesmer, they're great at being able to hold a point with their portal because they can hold their back point, push in the middle, and then at any time they can jump back to the portal to defend their back point if they need it. You've seen this from a lot of players. Zeph is really known for doing that type of style. You've also seen some thieves that do the same thing, some rangers that can do some similar things as well.
Well, that was a
nice hill.
So
this is
very
another
nice
2-on-1, looks like.
Yeah, it'll be a Mesmer versus
retaliation. Retaliation
every time. But Power came back in. And
Power's back in. He's going to try to get him up. He's going to get him up.
Oh, he is.
He's going to get him up. Yep.
He started off with haste and kind of a.
Yep. So he did a fast rush there to get it back to a 2-on-2 because it was 2-on-1.
Who's next? Chuck. Where's Chuck? Oh well. Chuck is here, I think, right?
I don't see Chuck. I just see that 2-on-2. They're going to be able to take that point.
I don't think so.
Oh no.
I think Hammond has definitely got it.
Oh, he's gonna
never mind. Oh, that stomp.
Yep. Let's see how it goes.
I know Hammond will definitely go. No.
You think he's got it? Nice heal. Let's see what he does here. This is Hammond again. He's trying to hold out this 2-on-1.
He's got a shield block, which is a very strong defensive maneuver. He's actually probably getting. He might get power.
I don't know. He's got to pop that heal though soon.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, he went for it, but he got CC'd out of it.
There's 3, and now he's mowing.
Now he's
got to run.
He's got to run. So he's given it the point, but he might be able to live through this. But he's given it the point for sure.
We're gonna change cameras here.
Oh, he's down.
What do we got? We got Blix Core over on the other side. He's kind of a defensive warrior.
Yeah, he's a lot of CC on this warrior. He just got knocked down though. So who's he beating up there?
Oh, one crit would have downed him.
Wow, nice hit, Blux. So Bluxcore was able to, so you can see that he's using a very CC heavy build. You see the bulls on the end for his utility.
This is a defensive.
He's got to hammer out, yeah, that's a lot of control.
Now he's got to go against power again.
Let's see how this goes. He's gonna just go ahead and pop a sig.
Ooh.
Oh, he just ate 100 blades. He's fine though, he's gonna be able to get through it.
He used a balanced stance in order to get out of it.
He's got a shield bash up if he needs it. He's gonna go in. Oh, with the bulls first.
But power put up his shield block.
Nice, nice.
Oh
wow.
That ogre pet just came in.
Ogre's gonna come, yep.
And then
that's a rock dog, so that's off the armor set, guys, the ogre set. Well, he's gonna be able to push it down. He's gonna be able to get him down there. Yes, yeah. Stability allowed him to get that stomp off that you guys saw.
And Brock of Lee came in and used his elite skills.
That's one of those things too you guys need to be thinking about as you're making the game, making your teams for the game. Is what do you have for stability? What do you have for removing stability? What do you have in your team that ensures that you get off of stomping its opponents? Do you need to bring somebody in your team who's going to help you res somebody up quickly? Maybe it's going to be like a Necro with Sig of Undeath, that type of thing. So be thinking about what type of build you want to have and how you help your allies and how you help yourself in those situations and move one-on-one where those booms will just get people down. And it looks like John Peters just got off a stomp, gets off his heal. Yeah, they're going to push.
I'm disappointed. He's missing 3
8 points left. I think Blue's going to be able to take this one pretty handily. Yeah, it's.
Right now
nice
they've just kind of
blocks.
gone to defending 1 point. They didn't even care.
Yeah.
They just
So
want to get that. Those
John's
last few
chilling
points.
with full endurance. He went down. He could have dodged out of a few of those, but he wasn't able to get it. And that's going to be it for the game. So
GG.
Thanks for joining us, guys. As we said, we'll be doing more of these down the road. We'll be talking to you guys about everything from dungeons to events, fractals, world versus world. We just want to start educating you guys on the game and also just letting you guys see who makes the game. So Karl and I and the rest of the team.
We'd like to come on and kind of shoutcast these every now and then because you'll notice we ended up not password protecting the server, and we were actually joined by other players, and so we were able to go play with the other players that joined in. It was kind of fun.
So thanks for everybody who showed up. Thanks for everybody who helped, and we hope that this is educational for you guys. And Karl and I and the rest of the PvP team, on behalf of us, we just want to say thanks. Thanks for all the support with Customs and Spectator, and we'll be teaching you guys some other stuff down the road. So looking forward to that. Thanks, guys.
See you next time.